Hello, welcome back to Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. Hope you're having a great week so far. So today I am talking about kind of prospecting to an extent and trying to decide on whether or not to go in heavy on a certain player. And who would that certain player be? Well, it would be the Colorado University Buffaloes former quarterback, Shedeur Sanders. And when it comes to the current 2025 Cleveland Browns lineup of quarterbacks, that includes Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel, well, Shedeur Sanders tends to suck most of the oxygen out of the air. But is he going to produce in the NFL? Now, there's a lot of issues on why he was pushed back in the NFL draft. But overall, Shedeur Sanders is still a strong quarterback. And so now it's that time of year when you start to try and decide, what do you want to do? We just went through the NFL draft. Who would be some of the better players to invest in? And so that takes me to the question of Shedeur Sanders. So if you go to X, and this is a post from Shedeur Sanders for his 2025 NFL Panini Instant Draft card. Well, like it says here, I'll just read what it says. And this came from Shedeur Sanders. Dog Pound, Cleveland, are y'all ready? It's time to get to work. Check out my first Panini Instant Rookie card. And we can go ahead and click this. You know where you're supposed to go to purchase it. And guess what? The product you're looking for is no longer available. So it's sold out pretty fast. There's a lot of other NFL draft cards that you can purchase at Panini Instant. But the thing is you're not going to get this card. So right out the gate, they are going deep for Shedeur Sanders. I mean, you can just, like I said, go to Panini Instant and look at the cards that are there. And a lot of the cards just aren't selling for these players. So then, if you're, serious about this, you're going to probably want to check out eBay, to see, what they have. And, if you want that kind of base card that we just looked at, you can get into that on eBay. They're not selling for much, $7.65. There's another one going for $11.49. Someone has it marked at $31.45. And then, we can also get into his autos because they're already selling his autos for, this one. And they're just super short prints. And these are all pre-sales. This is $599.99, $444.88. So there are some cards for Shedeur Sanders to purchase. Is it worth it? That's just it. There's a lot of other Shedeur Sanders cards to purchase out there too. You can go to Panini Instant and you can purchase his college autos for around $299.99. Will those hold value? Will any of this hold value? That's just it. Shedeur Sanders has a lot of fans. That's great. But what will that mean for his NFL career? Do you jump into it now or do you not do it? If you're going to do it, I'm guessing right now would be a great time to go ahead and purchase, some of his cards. Why not? But the thing is well, the prices aren't very outstanding for his cards at this point. So there's obviously a lot of gray area when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. And obviously a lot of the fans, probable purchasers, aren't just jumping into it yet. And why is that? Well, the reality is, we went over, these other quarterbacks that are on, the team. And there is just a lot of competition at the Cleveland Browns right now. You have Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and of course Shedeur Sanders. And the thing about all of these players' cards, that you have to put yourself, in the position that this could happen. If the Cleveland Browns have a really bad season, let's face it, all of the stock and all of these quarterbacks are going to go down the toilet. And so I'm sitting here with Kenny Pickett cards. There's people debating that he's going to be the starter. But then again, I just don't know. You have Joe Flacco, that he's competing against. What's going to happen with Deshaun Watson? I've said in prior episodes, if you have Deshaun Watson, I would sell that card as fast as you can. And so when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, I'm being extremely cautious. Yeah, I could, go ahead and get into, some of these autos of his. It'd be college or, this Panini Instant. And hey, maybe the value will shoot up. But then again, the issue with Shedeur Sanders is everyone else on the Cleveland Browns who's a quarterback. And so that's why I am being cautious with him. If you watched my prior video, the Mayday sports cards, yeah, every one of these guys is on that video. Why? Because it's very, very possible that each and every one of these quarterbacks is going to fall like a rock towards the end of the season. And nobody's going to want anything to do with them. And so you could be holding on to these cards. And let's say that you did spend $500 to get yourself the Shedeur Sanders auto. You've had it marked up. Try and make a profit, whatever. And then Shedeur Sanders is injured. Shedeur Sanders doesn't go very far, this season. And so you have to sit and eat a lot of that cost, crossing your fingers that another collector or fan is going to come in and purchase it. And so that's why I am not jumping into Shedeur Sanders cards right now. There's just a lot of risk there. Now, I know he's one of the best quarterbacks, for this draft. And, he's the big name that a lot of people are talking about for the most part. But, with his final bowl appearance at Colorado, he didn't do very good. So I am just recommending extreme caution when it comes to this card. If you're going to maybe jump into one of these autos, I'd try and get the best deal as I could. If you're going to jump into one of these other, Panini Instant cards that doesn't have an auto, just they're not going for much. You might slab it up, get it done as soon as possible, to get out there by the time, the regular season starts. It's just there's a lot of time before, the regular season starts, I mean, here we are in early May. So anyway, if you have any different opinions on Shedeur Sanders and his cards, leave some comments. Thank you to all my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And if you're a viewer, thanks for watching. But your subscription would greatly help this channel out so I don't always have to work for free for Google and YouTube. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye.